The Kingdom of Drackar is a nation located in Eltam on the continents of Faros and Valrish. The nation is ruled by two kings, King Roland Drummond and King Uncle SN, both descendants of the two main Drackarian noble houses and equal in authority, so that one cannot act without the approval of the other. The competencies of the kings pertain the religious, military, and the juridical aspects of the kingdom. The birth of the Drackarian people took place in the territories of Unuria, where the first contact occurred between the Avari group of Hyzen and Karak, led by Drummond, and the Draken group of Yuan, led by Uncle SN. The three cities, aided by their proximity, soon began to collaborate and to develop a sense of brotherhood, which was put to the test during Unuria's war against Aureus. The main battle of the conflict took place in Karak, where the two groups valiantly fought side by side for Unuria, scoring a decisive victory for the nation. After the war, the Avari citizens of Hyzen and Karak welcomed the Draken warriors as brothers, for they had fought and repelled the invaders of their land. Relations between the two cultures kept growing by the day. Thus, the leaders of the two groups, Drummond and Uncle SN, aware of the widespread mistrust towards the Unurian government among their own people, began to cultivate an ambition of creating a nation to call their own, where the two cultures could unite under one banner, Drackar. There are mainly two theories about the origin of the name Drackar. The first hypothesis claims that it derives from the longships called Drackar, widely spread in the navy of Drackar and used during the exodus of the Drackarian people from Unuria to their new territories in Faros. The second theory, which is given more credit, argues instead that the name Drackar is a union of the initials of two important cities for the Drackarian culture, Draco and Karak. Thanks to Articles 2 and 3 of the Treaty of Hefnaheim, signed on the 9th of March 2022, between Skjoldbreiðr and Drackar, the Drackarian people were able to secure for themselves land rights in exchange for their support in the Second Battle of Hefnaheim, in exchange for our future alliance, and for the help offered by the Drackarian army. Skjoldbreiðr will grant to the Drackarian people some lands at a symbolic price. Article 3. The Drackarian people will establish the Kingdom of Drackar on the granted land. The newfound kingdom should be guaranteed independence and recognized of its absolute sovereignty over the granted lands by Skjoldbreiðr. After the victory of the alliance between Skjoldbreiðr and Drackar against Mosir Samari, the Drackarian people finally got the chance to create their own nation, as stated by the terms of the treaty. On the 12th of March, the Diarchy of Drackar was finally born, and the cities of Neapoville and Draco were founded respectively by Drummond and Uncle SN, with Neapoville becoming the capital of the kingdom. Soon Drackar began to develop quickly on all fronts, especially thanks to its rigid social system. Drackarian citizens and warriors grew in numbers in a short time, as did the nation's resources, and so the secondary settlements within the nation were also born: Anko, Silveria, Cord, and Fialong. Furthermore, the splendid city of Carnenotonia, long abandoned but which Drackar had inherited in its own territories, was repopulated and made flourishing again. Drackar also began to open up to diplomacy, and first entered a treaty of non-aggression and collaboration with the nation of Khazad-dûm. Then the Diarchs signed a military alliance with the democratic kingdom of Unuria, and in exchange, due to new established relations, Karak and Hyzen, the Drackarian people's hometowns, were donated back to Drackar. Thanks to the return of Karak and Hyzen under the influence of its Avari people, the province of Karak was founded directly under the kingdom of Drackar. The nation thus had the opportunity to expand into the continent of Valrish and to strengthen its international position. Drackar soldiers from the beginning of April started a strong campaign of controlling garrison of the territories in the Nether. The goal of the mission was to protect the warriors of the nation in order to allow them to undermine resources and to go fishing for rare objects with greater safety. However, violent and frequent clashes with Gungard's troops immediately began. The soldiers of the Empire had started coming to the Nether for the same reason as those of Drackar, and thus numerous battles broke out. Meanwhile, Drackar on April 2nd signed the Lightning Pact with the Kingdom of Skalding, a military alliance. Immediately, the two nations began to support each other in the fighting in the Nether against Gungard, who in the meantime had found the support of Vinovia and the former members of Ulfang, with the Diarchy of Drackar and its allies managing to obtain victories in most of the clashes, even with great losses, and always fought to the limit against the skilled troops of Gungard, Ulfang, and Vinovia. On April the 15th, during the 4th Coalition in Legion War, a few mayors in the north of Unuria wished to join Drackar, many of which were dual citizens of Drackar. Uncle SN looked straight at Drummond and said, "The price will be high, but trust me, we will free the northeast." The lands were disputed for a while. No war occurred, and Drackar managed to keep the territories of Nathria and New Java, as well as managing to gain Mercury as an autonomous province. The next month, on May 25th, the Drackarian people arrived in Rathnir. These Drackarians decided to join the Horde and to settle in a small zone inside Venovia. On June 5th, Drackar was given the claim of Adwa temporarily during the Alamein-Gungard War, which later that month was given back to Alamein, which was under Drackar. July 17th saw the Horde fracture, and Drackar became fully independent in Rathnir. On August 6th, the free city of Wilmund seceded from Drackar in exchange for an undisclosed amount of money. At this time, the alliance with Skalding, the Lightning Pack, didn't exist anymore, and now Drackar was fighting both Shur Kaniza and Skalding, where we arrived to modern-day Drackar. It still is on top as one of the greatest nations in Stoneworks history. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. It's free and really helps out the channel. Thank you. Peace out and goodbye.